Let me ask you something. When was the last time you were 100% sure about something and still got it wrong? Yeah, same. Because in 2035, certainty isn't confidence. Certainty is a liability. And if you want to win in an AI-dominated world, you need a new operating system, probabilistic thinking. So today, we're talking about one of the most powerful mindset upgrades you can develop, thinking in probabilities instead of certainties. Not this will work or this won't work, but this has a 70% chance of working. This is risky, but the upside is huge. This might fail, but I'll learn something valuable either way. And by the end of this video, you'll walk away with a practical way to stop overthinking, a method for better decisions, and a mental framework to stay calm when the future feels like chaos. Sounds good? Let's go. Part 1. The problem AI creates. Here's the problem. In the old world, certainty was rewarded. You could build a career by being the expert who always had the answer. You could stand in meetings and say, "This is the right approach, I'm sure." And people would nod like you just read the sacred scrolls of business wisdom. But now, we're living in a world where algorithms rewrite the rules overnight, industries evolve faster than universities can update. Syllabi jobs appear and disappear like trending TikTok sounds, and AI can generate 20 strategies in 15 seconds. So what happens? Humans start feeling pressure to be certain again. But the world doesn't support that anymore. We demand certainty from ourselves in a world that runs on uncertainty. That's like trying to use a GPS in a city that literally changes roads while you're driving. And then we wonder why we feel anxious. Part 2. Why certainty is actually dangerous. Let's be brutally honest. Certainty feels good. It feels safe. It feels like control. But certainty is often just confidence with no data. Certainty is the brain saying, "I don't want to feel discomfort, so I'll pretend this is obvious." Here's the real issue. Certainty locks you into one interpretation. And when the world shifts, you don't adapt. You defend. You cling. You argue with reality, and reality usually wins. Fast. Part 3. The AI era reward system has changed. In 2035, high performers won't be the ones who are always right. They'll be the ones who are right more often than random, fast at updating beliefs, comfortable being wrong, publicly able to act without complete information. Because when AI is everywhere, you don't win by having answers. You win by having better judgment, better filters, better questions, better response speed. AI can produce possibilities, but you decide what's worth doing. And that's probabilistic thinking. Part 4. What thinking in probabilities actually means. Okay, so what is this skill? Thinking in probabilities means replacing binary thinking. This is true, false. This will work, fail. I'm good, I'm bad. This is a great idea, terrible idea, with ranges. This might work depending on these variables. This is likely but not guaranteed. I don't know yet, but I can test. I'm uncertain, and that's normal. A probabilistic thinker doesn't need perfect clarity to move. They just need a direction, a hypothesis, and a next step. Instead of certainty, they use confidence levels. Like 20% confident, 60% confident, 80% confident. And here's the magic. You can be confident without being certain. That's emotional maturity, by the way. Part 5. Real-world example. Your life is already probabilistic. Let's take a normal example. You're thinking of switching jobs. Certainty thinking says, if I quit, will I succeed? Probability thinking says, what's the likelihood I'll be better off in 12 months if I quit? That changes everything. Now you can evaluate financial runway, market, demand, your skill flexibility, your learning speed, your network strength, and suddenly, the decision becomes not emotional chaos, but an intelligent bet. Because your life is not a math equation. It's a portfolio. Part 6. The hidden source of stress. Most people are stressed because they want guarantees. They want the world to sign a contract saying, yes, your effort will pay off. Yes, you won't be rejected. Yes, you won't waste time. Yes, you won't look stupid. But reality doesn't do contracts. Reality does probabilities. So the stress isn't the uncertainty. The stress is your refusal to accept uncertainty. That's why probabilistic thinking is not just a decision skill, it's a mental health skill. Part 7. The 3 probabilistic questions that upgrade your brain. Whenever you're stuck, ask these. 1. What's the probability this works? Not will it work, but 10%? 50%? 80%? Even guessing forces your brain to leave fantasy mode and enter analysis. 2. What would make it more likely to work? This is the power question. Because now you shift from hope and anxiety to design and control. Example, if your plan has a 40% chance of success, what makes it 60%? Maybe learning a skill, finding a mentor, getting faster feedback, narrowing the scope, doing a small prototype first. 3. If it fails, what do I gain? This removes fear from the equation. Because failure isn't a dead end. Failure is data. And in a fast-changing world, data is currency. Part 8. The weather forecast. Mindset. Here's a simple metaphor. Stop treating the future like a promise. Treat it like a weather forecast. If the weather app says 70% chance of rain, do you cry? Do you cancel life forever? No, you take an umbrella. That's probabilistic thinking. You don't demand certainty. You adapt with preparation. Now imagine applying that to business decisions, relationships, career choices, health habits, building a channel like this. You don't need to be certain your plan works. You just need to be ready for likely outcomes. Part 9. Why smart people struggle with this. This is funny but true. Highly intelligent people often struggle more with probabilistic thinking. Why? Because being smart creates an addiction, the addiction to being right. And probabilistic thinking requires you to say, I might be wrong, which is painful for the ego, especially if your identity is built on competence. But the AI era will humble all of us, because you'll see machines outperform you daily, and the winners won't be the smartest. They'll be the most adaptable. Part 10. Probabilistic thinking makes you anti-fragile. There's a concept called anti-fragility. Fragile things break under stress. Resilient things survive. Anti-fragile things get stronger. Probabilistic thinkers become anti-fragile because they expect variance. They expect randomness. They expect surprises. So they build systems like multiple income streams, flexible skills, backup options, rapid learning loops, emotional regulation tools. They don't need perfect stability. They need optionality. Part 11. A simple daily practice. 30 seconds. Here's a daily habit to train this mindset. At the end of the day, ask, what was I confident about today? That turned out wrong? Not to shame yourself, but to build calibration. Then ask, what signals did I miss? Because in 2035, the ability to update beliefs fast is more valuable than being correct once. This is how you become someone who sees reality clearly, not emotionally, not defensively, but accurately. Part 12. Practical example. AI career skills. Let's make it real. Say you're learning a new skill. Prompt engineering, data analysis, design, coding. Certainty thinking says, will this skill matter in 5 years? Probability thinking says, how likely is it that this skill increases my leverage? Then you diversify. Instead of putting all hope into one identity, you build a stack. Communication problem framing systems. Thinking, negotiation, creative direction, decision-making under uncertainty. I can do tasks. But humans will be valued for direction, judgment, and meaning. That's your edge. Part 13. The bet size rule. Here's one of my favorite concepts. Don't just think about probability. Think about bet size. If something has a small downside, a big upside, even at 30% chance, it might be worth doing. Like starting a faceless channel, launching a digital product, applying for an opportunity that feels too big, reaching out to someone you admire. Worst case, you learn. Best case, you change your life. That's a good bet. Meanwhile, some safe choices have high probability, but tiny upside and massive long-term regret. So don't worship certainty. Worship intelligent risk. Part 14. The Mindset Shift Summary. So here's the core idea. Stop asking, is this guaranteed? Start asking, is this worth the bet? Stop demanding perfect clarity, perfect timing, perfect confidence. Instead, build fast feedback, small experiments, iteration loops, emotional stability. And the best part? Probabilistic thinkers don't panic when the world changes. They expect it. Here's your takeaway for today. Replace one certainty statement with a probability statement. Instead of, this will never work, say, this has a low chance, but what would increase it? Instead of, I'm not good at this, say, I'm not good at this yet, but with practice, I can improve. Instead of, I must get this right, say, I'm running an experiment. That one change will reshape your mind. And in 2035, your mind is your most valuable asset. If this video helped you, here's what to do next. Like the video so the algorithm doesn't forget we exist. Subscribe for the next episode in this series. Comfort with ambiguity and incomplete information. Because the future won't belong to the people who know everything. It will belong to the people who can move forward, even when they don't. See you in the next one.